Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn,
And my name is Ryan.
and we're good.
Good afternoon, VV Nation.
There you go. And it's also Western Wednesday. We both have on our hats. I have on a different hat that I normally do, but different hat.
I like your hat, Glenn.
You like my hat? I like your hat.
Looks good
too.
on you.
So Western Wednesday as well. If you can hear us, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let us know that we are both coming across loud and clear. And man, I got some stuff to get off my chest today. All right, so I'm just letting you know that, especially with news that's come out. I got it. Listen, today is the day. Today is the day to invite people. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Glenn's got some stuff to get off his chest today, especially with what's going on in the market. And, I'm going to start off by saying that I think the VectorVest instructors, all of us, have been doing a good job in helping you guys prior to what's going on in the market right now. All right, Ralph says, VIX played doing good. Thanks. That was my super play in my top weekly picks last week, was the VIX. I told you guys to keep your eyes on it. So a lot of people think that when we come on, it's a lot of self-promotion that we do. Listen, get that. It's all about self-awareness. We want you guys to be aware of what's going on and where you should have your money. So for all of you who want to complain about us doing, that it's self-promotion and whatever, this is a channel. This is a platform where we get to actually interact with our subscribers and help our subscribers. So that's what it's all about. Jerry says, y'all care about us and I know it. Abso-freaking-lutely. That is it. That is top notch right there. So it's not about self-promotion. It's about our ability to try to help you guys make money. All right. So what do you still look at? There's Jake. Hi, Jake. VV Nation is the best I've been with y'all over 3 years. There you go. Thank you again for that, Jerry. Again.
Thanks, Jerry.
You can't fight that right there. That's coming from the people who are subscribers to the VectorVest system. That's it in a nutshell. John says, great call on the high MTI and protecting with puts. I have SPY puts protecting my portfolio. The credit rating agency Fitch just downgraded the United States. What are the implications for investors and markets? That's what I got to talk about today, and that's what I got to get off of my chest. Ooh, hey, Joey, is it true that Ryan is the best VV on-air talent since Dr. DeLito discovered Glenn in a garage reggae band in New York in 1980? Yes, Badger. Just take yourself the time out. Just take yourself the time out. All right, so let's get into it. As you can see on the homepage, you see we got two red lights. And I don't want anybody to feel, anybody. Let me start off this way. Does anybody feel that they were blindsided by the market? Type a yes if you feel that you were blindsided by the market. Type a no if you don't feel you were blindsided by the market. Let's start there. All right, because we put a lot of effort and a lot of time into the education part of what we do here on YouTube. All right, I see the yeses coming up. This is very interesting on anybody who's typing yes. Bernard, as in the basketball player. Ray, wow. GMC, those people who are saying yes, I don't know how. I don't know how if you've been following the VectorVest system. I don't know how. I can't, and I'm not judging you. I don't know how anybody who's been watching this channel can actually feel that they got blindsided. No, and Mitzi, even with the downgrade, this was prior to the downgrade, we have been keeping you guys on the right side of the market. And the special presentation this week was all about what? Protecting profits. I did a video earlier 2 weeks ago talking about protecting profits. So for anybody out here watching this channel to say that they felt blindsided by the market, I don't know what more you need. And whatever it is, you need to tell us. You need to tell us what more you needed to know in regards to not being blindsided by the market. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to get into what's moving the market. And we're going to start right here. This is it right here. All right, Fitch cuts U.S. credit rating to AA+. Treasury calls it, and that's the key thing right there. Treasury calls it arbitrary. That bothers me because when inflation was rising, what did they call it? What did they call it? Type it in the room. What did the Fed call inflation when inflation was going up? All right, anybody? Type it in the room. I don't need to say it. You guys should. What did they call it? I can't believe transitory. Absolutely. They called it transitory. All right, so now this is a big thing. This is a big thing to get our credit cut. Why? Because it tells the world that we're not able to pay our bills, or not the way that we should be. All right, well, that's because when you look at inflation's coming down, but you look at interest rates, we're having to pay out more money from the interest side on all of our debt, and it ain't sustainable. So with that being said, Fitch said, well, we're going to have to downgrade your credit rating. It's the same thing when I got a credit card. You downgrade my credit card rating, I don't have access to as much credit. But to call it arbitrary. Now, what's the other side of it? Well, everybody, we got downgraded. It's time to panic. I understand you don't want to get people to panicking. I don't want to get people panicking either. But I think you need to take it a little bit more seriously than giving it another name like arbitrary. It's a problem. That's a situation. And it's going to affect the market adversely. Dan just asked the question, how does it affect? It's going to push the market down lower. But you know something? Even prior to that, Mitzi, even prior to that, the MTI was at a range where we were telling you that the market looks toppy. We were looking at a lot of the stocks that you own. We were letting you know. I did a couple of videos with showing you techniques in how to take some of those off of the table. Now, you see the goats in the background. Ryan's not there because Ryan is letting me go on my tangent, but you get to see the goats in the background. Government credit default is just another potato, Joe. You know me, I'm not going to talk politics, John. It should have been downgraded a long time ago, says William. I don't disagree with that as well. But you know something, at some point in time, what is the Fed going to have to do? Well, one of two things is going to happen. One, we might get an emergency rate cut. All right, we might get an emergency rate cut to help to bring down the amount of interest that we got to pay on our debt. The second thing that could happen is we can start printing more money again. Holy smokes, if we do that, that's inflationary. Well, we already know that oil's going up. That's inflationary. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. Inflation is going to start to rear its ugly head. Another reason why that's going to happen, people are looking for people to hire. If you're looking for people to hire, you're going to put money in those people's pockets. You're going to raise the wages to get those people in. People are going to make more money. Actually, nominally, wages are catching up to inflation. Not core, but nominally they are. Inflation is going to rear its ugly head. And I think inflation is going to start rearing its ugly head before we get down to the 2% that the Fed wants to be at on inflation. Whereas interest rates now, 5.25%, 5.5%, so 5.25%, 5.75%, something like that. Interest is going higher and higher and higher. Do I think the Fed's going to pause on the next one? Probably. But I still think we get another interest rate hike. The Fed said in his last meeting that the market is able to sustain another rate increase. Well, if you do that, that's more money that we got to pay on the more money that we already got borrowed. So I think that one or two things happens. Gold is going to be a very interesting play right now. I'm going to start to think about looking at gold, but you could get the worst. Hyperinflation, says Lee. There's a lot of things that could go on right now. We got about 100 people in the room. Let's go see if we get more. Listen, I might have turned off a lot of people by starting down this path, and that's okay. You know why that's okay? Because I want to talk to the people who want to know what's going on. I want to talk to the people who want to know what's going on. I want to talk to the people who want to know how to manage their portfolios, and looking at a company like VectorVest to help you to do that. Those are the people that I want. If you're just here to hear somebody hype up a stock, well, that's not going to happen here. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Glenn, the goats are very distracting listening to you. Can you give us still black screen? All right, Joey's working on that. All right, there you go. Glenn, you've been sleeping on gold. I've been telling you for ages. Dan, if you when you started telling me about gold ages ago, would I been making money yet? Not yet. So I'm not going to talk about gold until it's ready to talk about gold. Who cares about the people that hate the truth? Listen, I want to talk to the people who want to learn and be aware of the market. When I asked the first question about how many of you were blindsided about what was going on in the market right now, the majority of you said no. And that's what we want to get across. All right. So if you devalue your dollar, you will be able to pay down the debt. Not good. And I've done videos, Lee, on the devaluation of the dollar. I've already done videos on that as well. So we're on top of a lot of the things that are going on right now. All right, real quick, private sector added 324,000 jobs, well above the expectations. People are going back to work, and they're going back to work at higher wages because people have to pay them higher dollars in order to get them. The jolts, job openings, layoffs decline. Layoffs were a big part of making sure that companies' bottom line looked in the black still. Layoffs are starting to decline. People are going back to work. It's a positive sign for the labor markets. And that's not what, to a certain degree is not what the Fed wants, but does want because they're shrinking the economy, but jobs are still strong. All right, so that's my talk about what's going on in the market right now. I hate that there's another new word going on in regards to a serious situation with the credit downgrade. How about this? Jamie Dimon calls Fitch Ratings U.S. downgrade ridiculous. But he also says it doesn't really matter. It does. I think that it does. As a matter of fact, I'm done ranting. Ryan, you got anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, just going back to the jobs report, I did notice that a lot of that, well, actually 2/3 of it was due to a jump in the service industry. So I think the service sector definitely added a lot of jobs, which is, great for the economy. Now, as far as the downgrade, the last time we downgraded was back in 2011. It was Standard & Poor's actually who did the downgrade, and that was just days after the 112th Congress voted to raise the debt ceiling once again. And interestingly enough, this was on the same day, August 2nd, back in 2011. I was actually even looking at the VectorVest composite during that same time frame, and you saw a little choppiness, some sell-off due to that news. But shortly after, a rally ensued. So I wouldn't be surprised if history kind of repeats itself. I mean, the market kind of needs to cool down anyways, from a technical aspect, regards on your opinion, what, the budget and, our debt ceiling has to do. But as far as, fear in the market, I think it'll be short term. I think earnings overall were pretty positive. We weren't thrown too many curveballs. So I think this will be short lived. Just throwing this out there, I did make a little money, with some puts on the QQQ today. So as far as the next few days, a little bit more on the bearish side, but as far as a more further outlook, I'm thinking this will be a pretty quick recovery.
Real quick, I got Fred and Pecan chiming in. VectorVest is a trading platform, not an investment platform. Huge difference. VectorVest has been totally green. Let me go back to Fred says 3 days ago, VectorVest said go ahead and buy stocks. The color guard full green. All right. Let me talk to you about that. 3 days ago, let's go to the views. 3 days ago, what's the date? What was the date, Joey? Hold on. 3 days ago. Let's go back. 3 days ago. Let's go to the 27th. Let's go to the 27th, right? Let's talk about that. Was it 3 greens? Nope, that wasn't the date. Let's go. Oh, because that, I hate when I see that. Let's go 26. Full green win. Go to the 25th. Full green win. I'm looking. You said 3 days ago. So I'm just trying.
You see a predominance of yellow. I mean, that's
No,
the
no, no.
cautionary tale
I
right
want to
there.
see this. You said 3 days ago we were full green. The 19th, maybe? That's a lot more than 3 days ago. All right. So,
Well, Glenn, we've been talking about, we started earlier this month talking about the July high.
I totally agree, but I need to address this because not only did Fred bring it in, Pecan jumped on board. All right. 719. Let's go see what we said. May buy stocks long. If what? If the market is rising. Let's go back to the 18th when we had all of that green. What did it say? That's a lot more than 3 days ago, folks. All greens. 718. Long. If the market is rising. I'm not trying to have that. All right. I am so not trying to have that. All right. You're gonna take. We put the words in there. It wasn't like we said, hey, go buy stocks. May buy stocks long if the market is rising. And then after that, let's go. No. Let's go back to just last week. Let's go to Thursday. What was it? All yellow.
Well, I remember last week when we were doing the market aspect, the timing, the market aspect in the beginning, we mentioned how to be cautious with the MTI at these levels.
But Fred is saying 4 days ago on green buy or on what was the all right. Anyway, I'm pointing out the verbiage that you saw. The verbiage says if the market is rising. That's what it said, Frank. That's what it said. Give me a date. Give me a date, Frank. I'm going back and I'm watching this. Give me a date.
Watch the blood pressure, Glenn. That's what Dan G said.
We always keep you guys to the 31st. Are you saying to the 31st? Did I not look at the 31st? It was yesterday. Or 2 days ago. 31st, all green. What did it say? Prudent investors may buy stocks long if the market is rising. All during that time, where was the MTI? At the levels where the market was looking toppy. I'm not sure what else we need to do. And I am looking at, Lauren, I'm looking at the full green. Primary wave is up. The underlying trend of the market is up. But what was the strategy? What was it? Prudent investors may buy stocks long if the market is rising. Aggressive investors and traders should play the market with what? With a bias to the upside. The system was giving you that information. But the other side of it, the other side of the information and what we've been talking about, even on the 31st, was still be careful. The MTI was at a level where the market's looking for a top. And the usual buy blurb was in evidence, was in use. Okay. Listen, I won't argue the point. What I will say is look at the verbiage. Even with all of the verbiage, and I've been saying take what the market gives you. On an update, take what the market gives you. But I think everyone in our staff, whenever we did anything, had always been saying, be careful. Now, if that's true, for those of you who watched everything that we do here, if that's true, type a 1. If I'm just flapping off at the jibs and I'm just making up stuff on the fly, type a 2. But we've been prefacing everything by saying, be careful because the market looks toppy. If that is the case, and you've heard us say that, all of us, type a 1 in the room. So I'm not falling for that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I think that we've done a freaking amazing job of telling you to be careful. Look at the YouTube channel. Videos telling you protecting profits on the YouTube channel. So anyone who wants to take that out of context and says, well, you said full on go buy, bull. We have not. We've told you to be careful each and every time. Okay, I wanted to address that because that came up as a question. And that we're just a trading platform? Really? Okay. Anyway, and again, I'm not afraid to answer any question or any statement that comes up ever. All right. I'm never afraid of answering anything that comes up on here. All right. Blair says, wow, what is this about? Great job, VV. There's no perfect records. It's about risk management and probabilities. Trends change. Again, good job, VV. All right. Again, I'm not beating up on nobody, but I'm not going to let you tell me in any way, shape, form, or fashion that we are not doing what we need to do to help our subscribers. I'm not having that. I'm not having that from anybody. And you want to come and talk about it? We'll have the conversation. I'm not afraid to have it on this platform live to anybody who wants to come at me that way, ever. All right, with all of that being said, let's move on. Whew, take my hat off. I'm hot. Ooh-wee. All right, first story. Actually, I don't want to do my first story yet. Let's go do Ryan's first story. And I'm behind a paywall, Ryan. Sorry about that. This was your inside Taiwanese chip giant. A U.S. expansion takes. What story is this? I am so.
All right. So, yeah, this is for Taiwan Semiconductor.
Okay.
Essentially, big news. They're, the U.S. in general, because of that, the chip grant that they did, they're investing a lot in our own infrastructure. So we're not reliant on, foreign nations for chip design and chip manufacturing. So they, have the Taiwanese or TSM is building a new chip plant, fabrication plant in Arizona.
And my son works for ASML. It's actually is with TSM and ASML.
Okay, yeah, they have ASML provides the lithogram machines, the ultraviolet lithogram machines.
And that's what my son works. He works one of those machines.
Okay. So yeah, this was a $40 billion project. However, TSM is having a lot of issues finding the right talent in Arizona to actually go through with this plant right now. So they're having some talent issues. So that way, it's causing some stalls in the project right now.
I asked my son about it as soon as I saw the story came out, and he sent me back sad face. He says, we're going to be fine though. Oh, I'm not supposed to.
Okay.
Y'all don't know who he is, so I didn't mention him. He said, don't mention my name. He did say that.
So yeah, this expansion, it's in just north of Phoenix, and it's really meant to bring some more of the advanced microchip production closer to the United States. Because of this potential standoff with China, as we've seen, develop over the last few years. So this is just something that the U.S. is trying to do to bring some of this chip production back to the United States. However, I think this is going to be a hiccup with some of the, lack of talent that TSM's saying. Not only that, but just with the market in general. For the watch list, I chose SOXS, which is the short ETF on semiconductors, going into next week.
All right. So I got that stock in there, SOXX, in your list. We'll go take a look at it in a minute. I got a story on Humana, always the healthcare industry. Humana earnings beat estimates as medical costs jump by less than expected. Interesting about the medical costs jumping by less than expected. Reported a bump in the second quarter earnings, lower than anticipated strong demand for surgeries. So that the COVID-19 pandemic is over, maybe that's putting them, boosting profit. So it just goes to show that when got a pandemic, when bad stuff is happening, it's going to put a strain on the hospitals than in themselves. So Humana, along with peer United Health, they beat earnings too, warned in June that medical expenses would jump in 2023 as more patients go ahead with elective procedures that have been delayed by the pandemic. So going forward, we're gonna have some of that, a lot of that stuff. So that's one of my stocks that we're gonna talk about today. I got another stock, Walmart. Interesting. I picked Walmart because I like the story with Expedia. Travel stocks. I did a short on the travel shipping that Joey put out recently. I still don't. It's moving. The whole industry is moving. Travel industry. I still think that prices are higher and people are willing to pay higher prices because they need to get away. After COVID happened, they need to get away, but they're going to pay for it later. They're putting on their credit cards. That's the downside to all of these travel stocks moving up. Whether it's a hotel, whether it's flying, whether it's Airbnb, all of these different things. Inflation, even though it's coming down, is still higher than it was last year. People are putting on their credit cards and they're going to pay for it. It's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. All right, so I got Walmart and Expedia in my list today.
Well, not only for these articles, but I'm thinking just where the market is right now. And if you're expecting some volatility, these might, healthcare and Walmart, I mean, these are staple companies.
I don't disagree with that. I think you're right.
And I think if you're wanting to actually stay in the market, these would be, good positions to kind of lessen the volatility of your portfolio.
And you know what else is good about having stocks like this is if they pay dividends.
Correct.
Dividend paying stocks are good. These are only for the stocks that you want to hold long term. Another way to hold on to a stock long term because you just like it and you know that long term it's going to make you money. Learn to sell covered calls. Learn to buy a protective put.
Yep.
There's a lot of ways to still stay in your long term stocks, being that you think that we're just a trading platform, which is baloney. Yeah, I called it baloney. There's a lot of searches and there's a lot of trading systems for the longer term investor. Now, theoretically, that's a great thing. But if you know that we're in a trader's market, then what is a software like VectorVest supposed to do? Well, I know we're in a trader's market, but we're going to tell you to hold stocks longer. Not altogether. And if you are going to hold stocks longer, you need to learn how to play those stocks longer. But they don't but they don't produce promising candidates except certain times during market conditions. I love that, and Lauren's been with us for a while. I'm not beating you up. I love that people, especially Boston in the background, being able to answer questions while Ryan and I talk. And that is so awesome. I love that. Thank you for that, Boston. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Boston.
All right. I'll put my hat back on now. All right, let's go to the next story. Ryan's big on oil. I'm with him, but he's actually picked up the ball out of the two of us and really moved down the path on oil. And I love what he's doing when it comes.
Yeah, pretty much, Glenn, since I've, started being on the show with you, I've been pretty bullish on oil. I did a video last week of some of just the best general oil stocks out there. I know just a few minutes ago, you talked about dividend strategies in this type of market scenario. Well, tonight, I'm actually going to be doing some of the best oil dividend plays that utilizing the VectorVest 7 software. But yeah, this article right now, ultimately, it's just, reiterating my bullish stance on oil. OPEC, it announced that it's cutting, or not announced, but it already did. Their production fell 900,000 barrels per day, or BPD, compared to last month. Now, this is the sharpest drop since 2020. Now, one of the leaders and one of the countries or OPEC members to carry the heaviest load in cutting production has been Saudi Arabia. Now, one thing I will note, before anyone goes out there and starts buying oil stocks, the OPEC meeting is tomorrow. So, as I always say, don't try to get in front of the train. If you're not in oil already, assess that OPEC meeting. Obviously they're going to give some very valuable insight on whether or not they're going to continue these oil production cuts or halt those cuts. And, clearly that announcement is what's going to move oil up or down. So again, if you're in oil or you're not, if you're interested in the oil space at all, definitely keep your ears to what happens tomorrow with, the outcome of that OPEC meeting. And also watch the video tonight if you're ready for some dividend plays.
Absolutely. It's going to come out at 6 p.m. Make sure you watch it. I think it's the best of both worlds. Oil and dividend-paying oil stocks. It will come out tonight. It is not a webcast because now we're going to start getting emails to our product support staff. It's not a webcast. It is a 6 p.m. YouTube video.
And if you hit the bell icon for our channel, you will get alerted on these upcoming videos.
Absolutely. Fred, thank you. Fred, and Fred, I don't want you to think that I beat you up. That's never what I want to do. I want interaction. I thrive on the interaction. All right, but I'm never going to let anybody come and tell me, and Lauren, the same thing with you. You can't tell me that we didn't do what we needed to do to keep you guys on the right side of the market. That's all I got to say. That goes to both of you guys. I love how VV Nation backs us up. All right, so we got this stock. Did you give me an oil stock?
Yeah, so I gave you SJT
Oh,
San Juan
and you gave
Basin.
me DPT. Yeah, you did. You did.
Yep,
Okay.
Prudhoe Bay.
All right, you got it. What time is this? 6 p.m. Guess what, Mark? You're in timeout. Yeah, you're in freaking timeout. You know why? Because that was like a freaking car crash. You're going. No, Fred didn't get smacked down, Drew, and not all. Now, Fred didn't get smacked down. Fred didn't get smacked down. I just addressed the question. He didn't get smacked down at all. All right, so John, you're going to get to spin Glenn out again. No, I'm not getting spun. I just got here. I think that's a record. Yes, it is. What time is this? Why did you gonna put that? So, and I'm with a couple of the comments that came up in regards to replacing the oil in the SPR. When it was low, when it was down to the 70s, I think we should have jumped at the chance. Do you agree or not, Ryan? I think we should have jumped at the chance to put that oil back in the SPR.
Yes.
Now, we should have jumped at that chance, though. Glenn,
unless you're bullish on oil and you got money on the upside.
Glenn, how much Cafe Bustelo did you have today? About 3 cups. I got a little, hold on.
Glenn, you got me on that Cafe Bustelo. Cheers.
That's some good stuff right there. All right, that's what I got. Amir, stop doing that. Amir, you've been here long enough to get a better understanding on what you should be doing with your stock. Amir, you know that. You know that. All right, let's go to the next story. Starbucks. Talking about Cafe Bustelo. You can't get, Starbucks sold Cafe Bustelo instead of that Pike's Place. I think that they would double how much money they made. Ooh-wee. Starbucks rings up record sales as consumers splurge on complex coffee drinks. So, Ryan, I got to do this first. Do the crickets. How much coffee do you drink?
Today that would be my 3rd cup.
All right. How many of you drink Starbucks type of 1? How many of you stay away from Starbucks type of 2?
Glenn, do you drink Starbucks?
No, I don't. I think that it's a lot of freaking money.
I rarely go to Starbucks.
For me to just go and make. I got a Keurig machine right here. I got a Keurig machine.
So if I go to Starbucks, it's never for regular coffee. It's usually for a Frappuccino.
So there it is.
Something that I can't make.
So this says for the complex coffee drinks. If we're so complaining about inflation, this is another reason why I think inflation is going to start raising its ugly head. People are working. People are looking to get more people working. They're willing to pay a lot more money. Blah, 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 blah. People have money to splurge. See the word? Splurge on complex coffee drinks. Company says prices increase boosted revenue, but employee wage increases dragged down. Why? They had to increase. They had to increase. And if they're going to increase the wages, it takes more money out of your pocket. With rising interest, it takes even more money out of your pocket. What do? Interesting. But people are buying Starbucks coffees. Gravel espresso machine. I like a flat white. I don't drink nothing with milk in it. I don't do milk. I'm lactose intolerant. Me too. I go to Dunkin'. Dude, they make chai latte. I don't like chai either. I would go to Dunkin' Donuts before Starbucks. Why? Because Dunkin' is less expensive than going to Starbucks. But the story shows that people are willing to spend the big money to go to Starbucks. So it's a stock on my list. Next stock on Ryan's list. Looking at SoFi.
SoFi. So yeah, this is a fintech company. I don't know if you guys watched, but I did a video last week on industry disruptors. The first segment was on fintech. Now, SoFi, they surpassed earnings, mostly on very strong lending practices. Now, this company here, they've been taking a beating over the last 12 months, trying to get, their act together. But however, from this earnings call, SoFi's executive did raise their full year guidance. As well, one of the big things I got from out of that earnings call is that they're trying to aim at diversifying revenue. So they're trying to diversify their portfolio to increase that revenue. And I could only imagine that was going to help the stock in general, especially with at higher interest rates. The company should be making more money as they're lending more money right now. So I not too bullish on the market in general. As you saw, one of my picks was a contra ETF, the other being oil. So this is one of the few stocks I feel bullish on over the next 7 days. However, be weary because, if you look at the color guard right now, doesn't look good to be buying stocks in general.
Fred, I'm with you. I love that. Fred says, don't worry. I'll be challenge you on a regular basis. I wouldn't have it any other way, man.
Glenn loves a
I
challenge.
wouldn't have it any other way. I will never back down. You know why? Because I won't back down. I bleed VectorVest blue. I bleed VectorVest blue, and I will answer. I will not shy away from any statement, and I appreciate that. All right, well, last story. EVs. Just like Ryan likes the oil, I'm still in the EV space. Neo, Lee, and Xpeng post huge delivery numbers. That's why I always say where the rubber meets the road when it comes down to EVs. No, New York Mets blue. I'm a Yankee. Ew,
Mets.
ew. I'm a Yankee. Good, googly muggly. All right. How can you screen ETF using the MPI share leash? I saw it the first time you put it up there. Please don't put it up again. I will try to get that for you. We'll show you how to do that. Right? I will show you how to do that. So I got these stocks. I think that any company, any EV company that can put and deliver the vehicles, that's going to be a good, it's going to be good for that EV. Everybody's still chasing Tesla. Fred says, I love it. I asked you about Neo, remember? There we go. I got it in the story, Fred. I got it in the story. All right, so I got all three of these companies. I'm bullish on them as long as they can continue to meet the demand, because the demand is increasing. As long as they can continue to meet the demand, I'm on board with them, but they're all chasing Tesla. All chasing Tesla. Gary says Neo is my long term. All right, let's go take a look. This week, we'll start off with my stocks. Last week, we did Ryan stocks first. This week, we'll do mine. All right, I'm going to add one stock to my list. Yeah. Please don't say it broke. Please don't say it. I'm going to add one stock. UVXY. Think that is, I don't know if it's you. There it is.
UVXY.
Yeah, that's what I in my top weekly picks this week, that was my super play. How many of you watched the top weekly picks this week on Monday? Type of one. How many of you watched the top weekly picks this week? Type of one. If you did, this was my super play. This was my super play from Monday. Again, in preparation to what was going on in the market, folks, we do the best that we can to have you prepared. With everything that was my super play for the week. And good googly muggly is it kicking butt and taking names. All right, so I needed to add that. That was in regards to the market. I believe Neo will beat earnings. You don't. Well, let's go talk about Neo. Neo, way overvalued. I love the news that they beat earnings. That they surpassed the deliveries. All right. Fundamentally not sound. All right, let's go still talk about that. They ain't making money. Now, they are growing their earnings at a -1, which I think is probably better than it has been. View the stock graph. big time for me before I start to say that a company is going to beat earnings. I do like the move, but I don't like the earnings per share. Earnings is one of the engine that drives a stock or a market higher. Coming off of the high, pulling back, I do like it's above the 20-day. I do like the rising volume. Above average volume as the stock's price is moving up. This is coming into earnings, right? Earnings hasn't happened yet. This is coming into earnings. I don't know if they beat. I love the deliveries, but are they making money? So Fred, that's my issue. Are they making money? Tesla's overvalued, but Tesla's a big freaking name that everybody's pushing their money behind. Tesla is the big boy when it comes down to the EV space. All right, so Tesla's the number one stock in my list, growing their earnings at 26% with a positive earnings. Whereas I look at NIO, let's go look at NIO, look at Lee, look at XPEV. Look at that. XPEV, not making money. NIO, not making money. Lee is at least making money. Tesla is definitely making money. Those two not making money. Well, actually, they got a positive earnings growth, but they're not making money. Just because they're making the deliveries, they got to sell the cars. They got to sell the cars. All right, so we'll see. Those are my 4 cars that were in the story. Well, 3 of them were in the story. Tesla is just killing it. Tesla is going to keep on killing it. All right, I don't know. I can't honestly say. Way overvalued. Way overvalued. So is Tesla. I totally understand it. But look at Tesla's got fundamentally sound. RV above 1, RS above 1. NIO, no. Lee, no. XPEV, no. These are factors that I'm looking at when it comes down to if a company's going to meet earnings. All right. Let's go look at Humana, Expedia, and Walmart, and Starbucks. All right. Those are my other stocks on the list. Let's go see what they look like. Put them on a 3-month graph. Wow, Humana beat, but man,
I like how it's undervalued.
I do. It's way undervalued, especially in the current market's conditions. It's way undervalued. It's got some upside. Above the 20-day, nice move. Earnings looks good. May not be a bad looking play. I'm wondering if it's going to fade the gap that had today, though. Interesting. Expedia, Walmart story. Walmart and Expedia getting points for their customers. I do like that it's above the 20-day. Look at that. The 20-day serving as a level of support. Love the earnings. Let's go to the next one real quick. Walmart way overvalued. Bars getting smaller. Possibly getting ready to move down. Still above the 20-day, but not as much conviction behind the move. And last but not least, Starbucks. I don't know. In a big channel, there's the earnings. Was yesterday. Look at the channel. Look, I need that stock to break out of the channel before I don't care what they're saying.
But Starbucks pays a dividend, right?
Do they? Yeah, $2.12. What's the dividend safety? Let's go add that parameter. Dividend safety is at 63. It pays a good dividend. It's a good safe dividend. It's got a good safe dividend. You guys are chatting up a storm. Jerry, stop taking up all the chat. Dang it, Jerry. All right. Jerry's going to sit back and go, damn, why are you yelling at me, Glenn? I did call him out. I did. Jerry, you know I love you, bro. You know I love you, bro. Jerry's on one. He's talking. All right.
Jerry, I had puts today too, buddy, so I feel you. Made some money.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so those are my stocks going into this week. My big play is still UVXY. Let's go see what my picks look like from last week. Was I bearish on anything? Let's go see. Raytheon I was bearish on. Why? Because they had to take all those engines out of their plane. Tesla, I don't think Volkswagen did. I forgot what Volkswagen did. But I had XPEV on there last week too. Alibaba. All right, let's go see what they look like. Especially with today's day. Oh, sigh. How long have I been working here? Let's go back 1 week.
Oh, God.
Let's go back one.
Longer than me.
Yeah, let's go back 1 week. Let's go see how this plays out. Quick test them. Ouch. So RT.
Well, your Raytheon was the one
was
winner.
only down, but ouch. I'm thinking a lot of this has to deal with today's move more so than anything. Ouch.
Quick tested until yesterday. See how it would have done.
Right.
Just curious.
Yeah, I am too. Let's go see. Until yesterday. See how big today's move. It still was down. 2 stocks made money. Ouch.
And then you're short Raytheon, right? So really you would have had 3 winners.
Yeah, I would have had 3 winners. Sigh. All right. Oh, rough week for Glenn. That's all right. It's out. Hey, you gotta have the good and the bads. You gotta have the good and the bads. Let's go look at your picks for this week. And can you give him control? Let him have control so he can do it on his own.
Do I have control now?
Yes, you can.
All right. So again, I'm not very bearish right now. So not very bullish right now. However, I am bullish on oil. So let's just break these down. We got SoFi in the top of the list. Now, this is overvalued, so you would be paying a premium on the stock. But what I do like is RV and RT relative timing are both favorable. Just realize, with a lower than 1 RS relative safety, this is a little bit more aggressive in nature, obviously, but it does have the buy rating. And look at the GRT, or the growth rate in earnings, at 26%. So it's able to grow those earnings. Now, my 2 oil plays here are SJT and BPT. Both of these companies are undervalued. SJT trading just below $8. We're valuing it over $17, while Prudhoe Bay trading over $7. We value it close to $14. Now you can see oil taking a big hit today. BPT down 11%, so it has taken a big hit today. However, if we look at RV and RT, again, those are favorable ratings.
Hold on a second, Ryan. Frank said, what about WTI? Just to let you know, for transparency, I own WTI and I'm getting my butt kicked today. But I'm still long-term, short-term on oil. So I just wanted to answer that real quick. I just wanted to answer it. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. So ultimately, RT relative timing, since this is going to be a short-term play going till next week, RT is favorable on all of these positions, except for this one here, which is the semiconductor. This is a contra ETF, hedging semiconductors. As of right now, as the market sells off, this is up 10%. So, I think in the short term, hedging your portfolio with something like this, or, some kind of hedge in general, not the worst idea. It does have a sell rating. So just, realize, it is going to be volatile in nature. This is a triple leveraged ETF. So if you're not familiar with ETFs or contras, you probably want to just stick to a single leveraged until you get more, knowledge in that field. But what I like about all these picks here, the growth rate and earnings, very favorable. This being an ETF, that's why it's at 0. So now let's take a look at these charts. I'm just going to graph all.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. You did that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to bring it over. And now you can go from there. You want what time frame you want?
3 months works.
You got it.
All right, so here's the 3-month time frame. Now, SoFi, you did see it was able to break above this level of resistance here. However, it did close the gap. If I do a little horizontal line here, you can see the gap right here. You see the buying pressure came in at the bottom wick, right at the close of that gap. So that's a good sign, saying, the bullish indication is that the gap is closed. As long as we can break above this level of resistance here, this green line, we'll be good to go. Volume, strong volume the past few days. Again, as I mentioned, it is overvalued currently, so you are paying a premium. Now, earnings per share, let me take off the dividend real quick. Earnings per share, nice steady rise in EPS over the last 3 months. So I do like that position. So here's San Juan Basin, greatly undervalued. I'm going to take off value so we can see the candlesticks better. Here we go. We don't hit resistance up until this level here. Let me go back to a date line. That level is at 856. So we still got some breathing room until we hit level of resistance here. I do like that. You see price action above that 20-day EMA. So the momentum's still to the upside. The volume has been picking up a little bit over the past few weeks. And the earnings per share, nice steady rise in earnings per share. So that looks really good there. Here is BPT. It's had, it's been on it's been a roller coaster the last few days. Huge, big-bodied candlesticks here showing that the buyers had control. However, today the sellers definitely took control for most of the day. We see some buying pressure, however, which I do really like. And if we notice this little green line here is a level of resistance right now. Maybe let me bring this back a little bit.
Actually, hold on. Watch this. I'm going to hook you up. Draw a horizontal line right on it. Oops. Sitting about 750.
Sitting about 750. So yeah, before entering this position, I'd like to see this taken out. And again, OPEC, they speak tomorrow. So oil could make big moves either to the upside or downside, depending on what their decisions are. But what I'd really like is a lot of volume coming in here, way above the 50-day moving average of volume. So buyers, are flooding into this position right now. And again, that momentum is to the upside just because it's above that 20-day moving average, diverging away. And we just got a buy rating on it not too long ago, just in the past few days. So that's really good. Now, the last position I have here, this is SOXS. This is triple leverage shorting semiconductors. Ultimately, I'm playing this just because of the market volatility right now. Semis had having a rough day today based on the U.S. downgrade. This is up 10% today. You see this 20-day moving average or exponential moving average? As you can see, the candlesticks here are finding it as a level of resistance. So if you're not in this position already, a clear break in this 20-day exponential moving average would not be a bad route to go just to get confirmation to the upside. And look at the volume. The volume is starting to creep back above that 50-day moving average, showing that, there's a lot of interest in this position. But ultimately, this is pretty much bottom fishing right here. Kind of on the opposite aspect as most people think of bottom fishing, because now you're trying to play to the downside of the market while the MTI is high, rather than playing to the upside of the market while the MTI is historically low. So I think these are great plays here. Let me just close out of this graph. And let's go to my picks last week, see how they did.
Real quick, while he's doing that, SJT was an old stock of mine. I made a lot of money on it. I'm not in it currently. And I think I want both me and Ryan to answer this question. Do you feel the oil plays can handle the bear market? I think that as long as there's going to be cuts in oil, oil is going to do fine, even if the market goes down. Ryan?
Yeah, as long as there's a strain on supply while demand is really high. And again, most of that strain is going to come out of the OPEC meeting tomorrow.
So Joey says, it sounds like a good old country song. SJT was a stock of mine. When I bought it, it done real fine.
While Glenn's singing, I'm going to move this back.
Turned it for the worst.
See you last Wednesday.
I took it.
And I was short AMC last week.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was short AMC last week, so let's quick test these. So Neo, the big winner. So I did gain positive 0.5% to the upside. And if you add in, so other than Neo, my other big winner was AMC, which can't be reflected because this was a short position right now in the quick test. So if you consider that, the AMC short, that really probably would have brought that up to maybe 1.5%, 2%.
It actually could have, which would have been a good
on the average. Yep. Other than that, BA, Google, XBEV, all taking a hit today. Let's just see what they did until yesterday.
Hold on, I get it.
Oh.
I got stocks in low places, so I buy those puts and save my graces. I'm going away.
Yesterday, even worse. So holding them till today would have done better. The AMC would have been down 1%. So yeah, ultimately holding them till today, slightly positive.
Hold on.
0.5% if you don't consider the AMC short. If you consider that, you're looking closer to 1% to 2% since last week.
Somebody said do it without AMC.
Okay.
$1.7 without AMC.
Yeah. So then another 5% with AMC. Yeah, that puts you probably over 2% there.
There you go. Before we get into looking at your stocks, I want to do something. You wanted to know about using the MPI, find contras. Let's go do that real quick. The near perfect indicator. Let's do 1 day. And let's go industries, filter by industry group, equal to selected industries. ETFs short. It's only one I need, right? ETF short or ETF is there?
No, that would
I
be
think
it.
it's just it. ETF short. Let's run it. So still using.
Now,
Go ahead.
I will note, because this search uses moving averages, you will have to have the Pro Trader add-on or a real-time subscription.
Absolutely.
Now, if this is something you're interested in, just call support or go online.
Go to
and we do offer a free 30-day trial to this feature.
Hold on. We're going to take it even further than that. I think if we do the 99 cents, don't they get Pro Trader with that? Boston, if they do the 99 cent, do they still get Pro Trader, yes or no? Do we give them real time? Do we give them real time for 99 cents? I think we give them real time for 99 cents.
We can give them real time for 99 cents for the trial.
I think we do. All right. So somebody was asking about looking at the MPI to find contras. Here's the three right there that are found out of all of the contras that are out there, the ETF shorts. Here's your three. You want to be able to do this again? Take a subscription to the software. I'm wondering if Boston can tell me if I think. Oh, she is. All right. So, I think we give real time for 99 cents, but I'm not sure. All right. So that's the answer to your question. Who asked me the question about using the MPI? It was the Shalish was asking me about using the MPI to find contras. All right. With that being said, let's go to the viewers. Let's go to the customer picks last week. Lisa, can you lend me 50 cents to take you're in timeout? You're in timeout. Let's go back one. Did you buy your puts? My name is, how you call me clean? Where's the G and the K? That's on the other side of the keyboard. I'm not inputs. I'm not inputs right now. Let's go back to the 26. Let's go see what yours look like. You guys, overall, you had 5 winners and 5 losers. The infrastructure stock, CVI, PBF, Halliburton, and EVXX made the money. Big loser, EMPH. Big loser, EMPH. All right. Let's go see what your stocks for this week. Did I empty it? I did. Joey.
And I'm pretty sure Enphase, they reported earnings.
I think that was an earnings play. I don't know if they.
I think they were weak on revenue, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly.
I do not remember, so I'm not going to even venture out because I don't even. All right. Everybody, start typing in your stocks. Joey's going to call off 10. Joey's going to call off 10. All right. EX, go ahead, Joey. 1. Sigh. PLX. XP. That's 3. SARK. That's 4. USAP. 5. AMZN 6, STRL 7, AAIC 8, NAIL 9, SMCI. I think that's your 10. That's your 10. Got it, 10. All right, Ryan.
All right.
I want you to do the bottom 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Do those.
All right, we got, first on the list here, we got Arlington Asset, AAIC. If we look at it right now, trading just over $4.50. It is undervalued compared to our valuation of $5.30. Long-term price appreciation is favorable. A little bit riskier of a stock, the RS below 1. However, it seems like it's a momentum play right now with RT at 1.77. So a lot of magnitude to the upside. And it's got the buy rating. If I scroll over to the right a little bit, we got positive growth rate earnings there, so that's really good. Nail, so this is a triple leverage ETF. So the big thing here is its price momentum. Got a lot of momentum to the upside with that RT at 1.71, and it's got a buy rating right now, so I like that position as a momentum play. Here we got PLX Bio. The price right now is $168. Greatly undervalued company at $388 is our value. Even up today in a down market. Gotta love that. Long-term price appreciation, a strong rating at 1.64. However, relative safety and RT are very unfavorable right now. And it has a sell rating right now So if you're in this position, just stick to your stop criterias. If you're thinking about getting into this position, just know this is going to be a risky play, and you're playing against the trend right now. Essentially, trying to bottom fish against the trend. But one thing I do like here, look at that growth rate and earnings. That's actually the highest in the entire list at 41. Next, we got Amazon. That's it's Amazon. So right now, it's greatly overvalued. We're only valued at $27. A down day for Amazon. If you look at that long-term price appreciation potential, that's where it struggles here. Definitely below 1 at 0.39, while RS and RT got great favorable ratings. However, that RV does bring the VST below 1 at 0.93. It's a hold rating right now, and the growth rate and earnings, or GRT, that is slightly positive at 4%. Here we got the last one is SARK. So this is an ETF, actually. That's why it's equally valued. It's an updated A. What is SARK? Let's take a look at this real quick.
I got you.
Go to analysis report.
Stop clicking. I wasn't ready.
Oh, I'm done clicking.
Now I'm ready.
So it's an innovation ETF, exchange traded fund. The fund is actively managed and seeks to provide investment results that are approximately the inverse or opposite the daily price and yield performance of the ARK innovation.
Oh, who's the woman for?
Kathy.
Yeah. Why does anybody
Kathy
listen
Woods?
to
her? So this is going against her. This is shorting ARK innovation,
and it's good. It's going down. It's going up if you short.
Tech companies are taking a beating today, so no surprise. This is playing to the upside of that, up 5%.
I shouldn't say.
So in an overbought market with the MTI as high as it is, and some other concerns, coming out as far as our credit rating, this probably isn't going to be a bad play going into next week. Just because I'm also short, tech on my watch list, so that's probably why I agree.
All right,
but yeah, Glenn, take it away for the top 5.
I'm curious. Is Kathy up for the year? Can anybody tell me if she is if her fund is up for the year?
The ARK fund, I would imagine so. If you're doing a quick test from the beginning of January till now, I'd imagine a lot of those funds are going to be very favorable.
All right, I'm just curious. All right, tech stock. I don't think I'm in a tech stock right now. I don't think so. This year it is. Thank you, Drew. All right, I wasn't sure, yes or no. SMCI was in a video in regards to giving you techniques on how to protect profits. I walked you through several different ways to protect your profits on SMCI. Down 4% today. Fundamentally sound, still in an uptrend. Good stock. But always remember, 80% of the stocks in the market are going to follow the trend of the market. The market's peeling over, so is SMCI. Probably should have taken your profits. As a matter of fact, let's go look at that real quick. I walked you through it in the video. On how to manage this trade. And you know something? Wow. Even with the down day, we're still above this trend line. Earnings still.
Hey, it looks like we might close right above it.
And you know something? Would I be mad at you if you still held it? No. Actually, no. But I do have candlestick pattern forming a bearish harami, which could be confirmed tomorrow. If you're not taking some of your profit off the table, I think, if nothing else, take half off the table. All right, Williams says ARK is up a lot this year. Okay. Then, I shouldn't have been beating her up. That was just me. It was just me being a jerk. I've never been a jerk, have I? If I've ever been a jerk, type of 1. If I'm just a cool, calm guy, type of 2. If I've ever been a jerk on this channel, type of 1. Really, Joey? No,
you haven't.
I've never been a jerk. You jerk.
To me.
Well, that's to you.
You're being a jerk right now.
That's to you.
You're being a jerk. You just
whatever.
Yes, you didn't say to me only.
Wow. I'm gonna fight you later. All right.
Get beat up later.
I don't think so. Extreme Networks, slightly undervalued. I'm gonna call that fairly valued. Sterling Infrastructure. Really, Mark? That's why you're in timeout. Undervalued. I know, John. I know. USAP, undervalued. And, so the top 5 that you gave me, I'm taking that down, Joey. Stop that. How do you, there you go. I just finished building a new PC, but couldn't afford SMCI motherboard, darn it. All right. No, I didn't want anybody to answer that question. I just put that out there. That's for real. That's for real. And you're right, John. Nobody's gonna answer.
Oh, Glenn, to answer the ARC question,
Yeah.
we actually have a watch list in the ETF folder. We track 7 of them in the VectorVest 7 software in this folder at least.
Nice.
So I did a quick test. January 3rd till today, on average, they're up over 40%, 40.74.
So then look at that. Badger says Kathy Wood made some risky trades on the regional banks early in the banking crisis, and they really worked out for her funds. Okay, there you go. Thank you for that, Ryan. I appreciate that. So out of the top 5, they're all buys. They all have double-digit earnings growth, fundamentally sound. USAP, good upside potential, but relative safety below 1. Eagle, isn't that the store that no, that's Express. That's not the same thing. I like these picks. Actually, I do like these picks, but I'm going to tell you that if the market turns around, starts moving down, be careful with all of these. And I do see that Extreme Networks is up 10%. That's fine. But get while the getting's good. Don't let none of you guys get screwed up out of there. You can't go broke taking a profit. Everybody should know that. You can't go broke. Even if you take half off the table, folks, you're still playing with the house's money on the other half. Going back to the market, 2 red days, 2 red bars, 142. Oh, the reason why the buy to sell ratio is still yellow is because it's still above 1. RT is red because it's down on a week over week and day over day basis and below 1. The underlying, the short term price trend, the primary wave is down, back and forth, back and forth. The longer term call is still in the up. I'm just telling all you guys to be careful. All right.
Look at those declines. 72% of the database declined today.
That's huge. And again, nobody should be blindsided. We've been telling you since that MTI has been at or above that level, above 1.5. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Bobby says, Glenn, you're a good old cowboy, and Ryan, you're a good old young old cowboy.
Good old young.
Yeah! Woo!
Yeehaw!
Right. ARC was down 81% January 21 through December 1922. Did we go back in time, Lee? Holy smokes. Did we go? Was this Back to the Future? Why are you yelling? Oh, listen, he's I don't know. Who is buying all that Elf product? Wow, that moved today. You look at Elf and Ulta. Remember when Ulta was rocking and rolling? Now it's Elf. Remember when Ulta was rocking? All these beauty stuff. I told Ryan that we need makeup artists. We need people to come put on our makeup before we come. All right.
You could use a little mascara, Glenn.
Me? I don't need no mascara. I'm a good old cowboy. Yeah. All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed that those goats earlier.
Well, they did, and they said it was distracting, but it was cute. Well, Ryan let me go on my rant. I told him that I was going to go on a rant, and he let me go on my rant. You never know. One day Ryan's going to want to go on a rant, and I'm going to let him go on his rant. So I still want you guys to be aware that none of you should have, if you follow VectorVest, none of you should have been blindsided by today. All right. If you're still holding stocks and you're wondering, well, what should I do? We've got the videos on the YouTube channel walking you through what you need to do. You know, people always like to say, well, you tell us after the fact. We didn't tell you after the fact. Am I wearing high heels? No, but I'm wearing my boots. There they are. I'm wearing my cowboy boots. All right.
Your hamstring.
Dude, I heard my hamstring pop. I felt my hamstring popping. Glenn, is it too late to buy a Contra? No, it's not too late. I think this is, both of us have a Contra in our portfolios going into next week. Well, I got the VIX. He's got the socks. I don't think that it's too late. Crocs boots. Oh, hell to the no. It's nasty. Glenn, when I saw the cars line up at Ulta during the COVID, I was buying Ulta calls prior to earning once in my life. Very well. Ulta was the big fashion thing. Right now it's Elf. Right now it's Elf. All right. Asa says, I have regional premium plus. Do I have real time? All right. I'm hoping that. Never blindsided when you listen to your VV Mobile mentor. Friday. Don't forget tonight's video in regards to, and I call it the best of both worlds, oil and dividend paying oil stocks. Ryan's got the 6 p.m. video. Please support him. This is part of what we do. We provide you with not only the education side of what's going on in the market, the informational side of what's going on in the market, and then we give you stocks. What more do you want? What more? And if somebody's got an answer to that, what more do you want? How do you access the latest software, VV Universe? I think there's nothing that you have to do to access the latest. I think it's already automatically does its thing on the backside now. That's how I think it happens. Lisa's not
If
here.
anything, it might prompt you for an update.
But I don't even think, I
But-
think even most recently for us on the latest update, I think Dwayne said something along the lines of it just updated on its own, doing something now that it just updates on it.
Okay.
All right, we got to go. Today was a good day. How many likes did we get? Let's go see that real quick. We only got 44 likes. People, I poured my heart out for you. I hit the like button. It was worth it for you to be here. Just hit the like button. Really, Mark? Who's clean? You got Glenn and Clean. Who's clean?
Is that my new co-host, Clean?
I don't know who the heck Clean is. But Fred keeps typing Clean. Where does that? All right. Since I spend so much time in timeout, I would like free Cafe Bustelo. Other than that, I'm good. No, I see 52 likes. All right, the likes might be going up. Listen, if it was worth it for you to come here, just hit like button. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit the subscribe. I'm done. Hey, Joey, you want to sign us out today?
I did not.
Yeah, you can say something.
Oh, there we go. Joey,
ahead, Joey.
give us a good sign out.
All right, if everybody wants to hear Joey sign us out, type a 1 in the room. If you want to hear Joey sign us out today, type a 1 in the room, and Joey will do it from right there. There you go. There's 1. Joey says, now here they
there
come.
they
Here they come.
Not enough.
Come on,
Not
Joey.
enough.
The people want to hear. It's provocative. It gets the people going. Sign them out. Sign them out, Joey.
Nope.
Come on.
Joey, give us a
Give
yeehaw.
it something.
Yeah. Yeehaw. Let's go.
All right. I guess that's
Let's
it.
go.
Adios, folks.
Hey, thank you, VV Nation.
Wow, Joey. That's all you got for the
That's all I
people?
got.
That's all you got for VV Nation? All right, folks. See you next time.